Welcome to Technically Edinburgh, the podcast for and about technicians at the University of Edinburgh. My name is Charlie Corcoran. On this episode, we're joined by Sally Morgan, Technical Services Manager in the School of Engineering at the University of Edinburgh and Chair of the University's Technician Steering Committee. Sally has been instrumental in championing the technician commitment over the years and is one of the organisers behind the Scottish Technical Conference, which is being held at the University of Glasgow in June. She joins us today to talk about what we can expect from the conference. So hi, Sally. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hi there, Charlie. Thanks for inviting me along.
I wanted to just start by asking if you could tell us a little bit about your role as Technical Services Manager in the School of Engineering.
Okay, that's a big question.
It's a big question.
Yeah. So I'm responsible for a team of nearly 40 technical staff. That includes technicians at all levels, all career stages, and also the most incredible array of specialisms across the team. We support over 60 laboratories and workshops in the school, including a number of small research facilities. And the team represents a really wide range of technical skills, knowledge and experience to support this really incredibly diverse range of activity in the school. So the school has 4 teaching disciplines covering chemical, civil and environmental engineering, mechanical engineering and electronics and electrical engineering. On top of that, there are 7 research institutes, which sort of, I suppose, they don't map directly to those disciplines, but kind of cover bioengineering, energy systems, materials, thermofluids, micro and nanosystems, data and communications, infrastructure, and environment. I've definitely forgotten something, but you get the idea. There's a lot going on in engineering. So as well as supporting labs, which range from, I suppose, heavy engineering, as you might think traditionally when you think about engineering, but also through to wet labs. So we've got containment level 2 labs in the school, as well as chemical labs too. And then on top of that, we provide specialist services to research, teaching, innovation, and that covers, I suppose, things like printed circuit board manufacturing, welding, fabrication, machining, and also all sorts of analytical services as well. So I guess, as is common in technical roles, for all of us here in engineering, no 2 days are the same.
No, and I'm getting the vibe that a lot of technicians like that no two days are the same. It seems to be quite a common theme. And when you're not doing that, you're also the chair of the Technician Steering Committee. What does that role involve? And can you just run us through some current priorities of the committee? Another big question. Start us off strong.
Okay, so I guess a bit of background. I joined the committee in 2021, not really knowing anything about technician commitment. And I did that because one of my team members, who was a member, was leaving the university. So I thought I'll take the opportunity to get involved and find out a bit more about it and how it relates to my team and sort of thing, to get involved. Towards the end of 2022, I volunteered to take on the role of chair. For some reason, nobody else seemed to want to take it on. So here I am, a couple of years on. The role is, I suppose, a leadership role, providing strategic vision of how the university can deliver on the promise of the technician commitment, which it signed back in 2017. It involves a fair amount of, I suppose, seeking support from senior leaders across the university, trying to get other technicians involved, both kind of at the committee level, but also more generally, and driving initiatives forwards. Since I started in the role, we've introduced new initiatives, including things like Technician Week, and that includes sort of the Technician Awards and Technician Image Competition, which I hope some of the listeners might have heard about. Last year, there was a big piece of work that we did, which was a self-assessment, essentially. How have we been getting on in terms of the delivering the technician commitment, but then also developing a new action plan to take us forward for the next couple of years. And that is, I think it's quite an ambitious plan, and that's intentionally so. And we've made, I think, quite a strong start over the last 6 to 9 months. In terms of our priorities, Yeah, I think the main one really is to try to improve technician community engagement across the university. And I know, this isn't an Edinburgh-centric challenge. I know that particularly the larger, more kind of diverse and disparate, where you've got disparate campuses, I know it can be a real challenge in terms of getting that engagement from the community. So yeah, working on that is a big priority for us at this time. Also this year, we've convened a working group who are in the process of developing a vision of technician career pathways at Edinburgh. So feedback that we've received from the technical community over the last couple of years has routinely highlighted that this is the number one priority. So this is us responding to that. I'm really grateful to everybody who's participating in that working group. It's super exciting, and I know that they're wanting to engage with the community through the summer, so look out for those sessions, which I think hopefully will be advertised relatively soon. And then the plan is that vision will be presented to the University Staff Experience Committee in November. Exciting times.
That is exciting times. I think we could have a podcast episode about every single thing you've mentioned there. There's so much going on.
Just don't use me all the time, otherwise it can get repetitive.
You could just be a regular guest. Just keep coming back. Tell us about everything.
Nobody wants that. So, nobody wants.
I do. So on top of all of that, you've been helping to organise the Scottish Technical Conference, which is going to be in June over in Glasgow. So can you tell everyone a little bit about that? What is going to be going on?
So I suppose just a little bit of background to the conference. About a year ago, I established the Scotland Technician Network. So we've got 17 member organisations currently, and that includes Scottish universities, but also research organisations. And then I suppose that kind of led on from in 2023. There was a Central Scotland conference, which Edinburgh collaborated with Glasgow on, which went really well. And actually, a number of other institutions were also represented at that conference. So putting those two things together, a group of 6 of the network members got together and said, right, let's do it. Let's have a go at organising a Scotland Technician Conference. I think, there are concerns about the geography of it. How's everybody going to get there? But anyway, we're doing it, and it's taking place on the 10th of June at Bute Hall in Glasgow, which is a fabulous venue. The conference itself is going to celebrate really the incredible work that the technicians in Scotland do, and I think really importantly be a networking opportunity, a relatively rare networking opportunity for technicians, and not just to network with their colleagues in the other school or the other college, but in other institutions. So the programme is going to showcase successes from across the Scottish network, as well as updates from the sector. So we've got a representative from UK ITSS coming, I think NTDC as well. I shouldn't be using acronyms. I apologise for that. And I believe we've also got a talk from an MSP, and there's going to be a panel discussion, competitions, including a poster competition and an image competition. So hopefully it's going to be a really fun day. But yeah, I think a key thing is really that networking opportunity.
Networking. It sounds like there's a lot going on. It's going to be good. So it's probably an obvious question, but who's the event aimed at? Is it technicians across Scotland?
No, definitely not technicians.
No, everyone but technicians.
It's absolutely aimed at technicians. It's being organised by technicians for technicians in Scotland primarily. Technicians from outside Scotland are very welcome. Although I don't think there are any spaces left at the minute. But yeah, it's aimed at technicians, I suppose, particularly technicians who are interested in that networking opportunity with their colleagues, finding out a bit about what's going on, across the sector, looking at opportunities that are available. And I think, the event it's significant really because it is the first truly pan-Scottish technician event that we've had. And I should really give a shout out to the organisers. So it's being led by University of Glasgow, who hosts.
Right.
And then we've got the University of Aberdeen, Dundee, Edinburgh, West of Scotland and Strathclyde.
So truly all of Scotland then, pretty much. What's been involved in organising the conference? I imagine it's quite a big undertaking to get this off the ground.
Yeah. The hosts, Glasgow, so my colleague Ali Salek, I would say, is definitely doing the heavy lifting here in terms of certainly in terms of the on-the-ground organisation. So for him, I know that will include things like booking the venue, organising the catering, poster boards, furniture, setting up the booking system. But it is a collaboration, and the organising committee have been, I suppose, particularly focused on development of the programme and trying to ensure that programme is, I suppose, of broad appeal. So, given the range of types of work that technicians do and the disciplines that they cover, it's trying to make sure that there is that broad appeal there. And so we've been working on that. We also collaborated on making an application to the Technician Commitment Collaboration Fund, which we were successful in securing some money, which will help support technicians from outside of Glasgow to attend the event.
That's good.
So that's great, because I know sometimes that can be a barrier for people attending these things. And then also proposing speakers, approaching speakers, leading on sessions, agreeing timings, all of this fun stuff. So it's various meetings, but Glasgow, big shout out to them, because they really have put the largest amount of effort in here, for sure.
Yeah, huge thank you to Ali and his team for getting this together. And this conference obviously is going to support the technician commitment pillars, and particularly, I guess, visibility, recognition and career development.
I think you're probably right.
Yeah.
Although maybe there's something to do with sustainability in there, but anyway, I'll focus on those three things. So visibility. What's fun about this is that we've got two senior leaders from two Scottish institutions. One of them's opening the event, one of them's closing the event, and having them there, I think, is really important in terms of, I suppose, validating the event and giving that visibility. And obviously, we've also got an MSP coming. I hope I have actually got that right. There wasn't maybe a TBC in there as well. But so an MSP, we've got the Scottish Funding Council have got a new post. It's the lead in research cultures for Scotland. And they're going to be participating as well. So I think, it's giving us visibility on slightly different platforms, which is fantastic, as well as just visibility within our own institutions and of each other as well, which is great. Recognition. So, there are competitions in the mix there, and I think the poster competition in particular, which is, I think, sort of centred on technician activity and people showcasing what they've been up to. So there's an opportunity for recognition there, and I think also just because we're going to be celebrating various successes and initiatives from across the institutions, that's another form of recognition through the conference itself. Career development, which is always a big one. Part of what we're trying to achieve is to do a bit of that signposting for different opportunities that are available, as well as highlighting best practice, which hopefully that might give different institutions different ideas about how they might do things, and the kind of the knowledge sharing part of it as well. And obviously the chance to network with people also just gives you that opportunity to share knowledge and maybe as a seed point for collaboration. So hopefully it checks many of the boxes. It checks at least three of the pillars.
I think it does. Yeah, probably four of the pillars.
Probably four if we put our mind to it. Yes.
So obviously events like this are pretty essential for building that stronger technical community. Is that one of the main things you're hoping to get out of this?
Absolutely. And, I think in a time when, maybe we're all busier than always, but it feels like we're always talking about how busy we are.
Yeah.
But also because technical roles can often be quite isolated. You're working in a specific lab or in a specific building in a specific team. So there aren't always loads of opportunities to get out of your workshop or get away from the bench and meet your direct peers and your colleagues, and particularly in person. And I think being able to meet in person can be hugely valuable. So I place a lot of importance on tea and cake, let's say.
Yes. I always look forward to a chance to get out of the lab and go to a different venue and see different people and learn about what other people get up to.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, even just from networking more locally within institutions, you can find out, I don't know, they've got the same piece of equipment as you, but they're using it in a completely different way. And there's all sorts of things that you can learn from that. And often you won't know that unless you have that sort of ad hoc conversation with somebody.
Is there anything specific other than, I guess, that networking opportunity that you're hoping, or the organising committee is hoping that attendees will be able to take away from the event?
I think this is about, hoping that people will make some new connections, and maybe discover, something that's going on that they didn't realise that was going on, but which they're really excited about and they want to get involved in, and that people are inspired to participate in future events, or maybe even suggest or organise their own technician event. I think that's what we're probably all hoping for. It's certainly what I'm hoping for.
So we're going to be there. The podcasters, I'm going to try and get some ideas from you now. So we're going along with my little microphone and hoping to interview speakers and also some of the people attending. So have you got any thoughts on what we could hope to capture?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't like to predict what sorts of stories or perspectives you might,
all positive. They're all good.
Absolutely. But and I suppose from experience, I would suggest it's whatever you predict is really unlikely to happen. There'll be all sorts of weird and wonderful things which you haven't thought about that come up, and maybe that's what's exciting about it. But I suppose it would be great to capture some ideas or suggestions, feedback from the community, and to make sure that whatever we do next is actually what they want, what they need. But capture the weird and wonderful. Go for it, Charlie.
So it makes me a bit nervous about it because it's quite easy to plan these recordings, but going out into the community live, I'm like,
anything could happen.
Anything could happen. Hopefully it doesn't rain because we're going to be outside recording, I think. So So hopefully if people haven't been able to get a place on the conference, we'll be able to release an episode with some insights and thoughts from the episode. So hope is not lost. You can still be involved. So do you think there might be plans to do this regularly? Because obviously there was the one 2 years ago, and do you think there might be another conference coming up in a few years?
I don't know. It's a tricky question, and I suppose I don't want to commit everybody to anything.
To everyone who's now signed up. We're doing it every year.
And I'm a menace for doing that. We know that. And I suppose, knowing the challenges that the sector is going through at the moment, I'll do the sensible thing and say that really there are no promises here.
No promises.
But, let's see how it goes. And ultimately, let's see what feedback we get from people and what the community decide. And we'll take it from there. I suppose what I can say is that in terms of that, the Scotland Technician Network, that's not going to be going anywhere. Well, actually, that sounds wrong. That sounds wrong. Hopefully it's going to be going everywhere. It's staying and wanting to do more with it. So I think there will certainly be opportunity for networking going forwards, whether it will be a regular big event or whether it might be smaller regional events or thematic events. I don't know. These are all things which we have spoken about. But as I say, I don't want to overcommit here.
Promise. Let's just commit absolutely everyone to everything all the time. Going to sit on my hands and not volunteer for
It's the
anything for a while.
anti-gravity hand, see?
Yeah. If someone was interested, if our listeners were interested in getting involved in the Scottish Technical Network, how would they best go about that? Is there someone they can contact?
Yeah, so the network is currently, it's very small. It's basically, I suppose, my equivalents in other organisations.
Okay.
So typically somebody who is either leading on technician commitment, although not all of the member organisations are technician commitment signatories. So it might be, a technical manager or local enthusiast, or we've got all some representatives are from HR side of things.
Okay.
So I would contact your local, let's say, technician champion.
Right.
Might be able to sort you out. But failing that, do contact me directly, and I can put you in touch with your local contact.
And I guess that would be anyone in Edinburgh. That would be you anyway. So email Sally.
Yeah.
Flood her inbox with emails.
Bring it on. Love an email.
So last question then, is there anything else coming up kind of in the next few months that you would like to highlight for the technician community here?
Well, I think what is quite exciting is there is always something going on. And it is the 1st of May that we're recording this. And I think it starts on the 12th of May, but Springfest is upon us. So this is kind of an online festival of learning for technicians. So I think you'll find out about that through the UK ITSS web pages.
Do love Springfest.
There's also a regular programme of professional registration workshops that are run by IST, so relevant to people on that sort of side of things. I've also really must give a shout out to Jeanette Dintara and her BSL sessions. Yes. The next one is on the 21st of May. I suppose I also mentioned about the Career Pathways meet and greet sessions with the Career Pathways working group in August. Do look out for those. I'm hoping that in the next month or so we'll get some comms out about when those are going to be. Great. And then, of course, the 3rd Technician Week in September, first week in September. The programme is coming together very slowly, but if anybody has any ideas or wants to put on a technician tour or run a technician networking event on the local campus, then do get in touch. I'm very happy to help support that, and we do have a little bit of budget to spend on that.
And I think the email address is in like the outro of the podcast, so people should be able to just email us straight from
Wonderful.
there. So yeah, that's amazing. Thank you so much, Sally. You've been
well,
amazing.
Thank you very much.
I've learnt a lot. So thank you.
I'm sure you have. But no, thank you for having me. Much appreciated. And Charlie, thank you more generally for everything you do for the technicians in the university and supporting the technician commitment.
No
appreciate
worries.
it.
I have a great time. This is really fun. We'll see you soon. Bye. I just want to take this opportunity to thank Sally for all the work she's done over the last few years with the technician commitment and with the Technician Steering Committee here at Edinburgh University. There's been so much going on over the last few years, and Sally's been a huge driving factor behind all of that. So thank you very much, Sally, from all of us for everything that you've been doing. Once again, thank you so much for listening to this month's episode, and we will see you soon. Recognition and visibility are two of the key areas of the Technician Commitment, an initiative led by the UK Institute for Technical Skills and Strategy. It's so important to us that we make sure that technicians behind the research get the recognition and visibility that they deserve, and we hope this podcast is one small step towards that goal. Technically Edinburgh is hosted and edited and produced by members of the University of Edinburgh Technician Steering Committee. Please follow us and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Check us out on X at UOE Technicians, and don't forget to tell your friends and colleagues. Have us on obnoxiously loud in your lab so everyone can hear. Oh, and if you have any ideas for topics, would like to come along and chat with us, or even think you might like to have a go at hosting, please get in touch at technician.network@ed.ac.uk. Thanks again to our amazing guest, our brilliant co-hosts, and you for listening. See you next time.